Hey. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Shondo's in the chat. What is up? Hey. I know I've been here for a few days. Y'all know I'll be out of town all the damn time. But I am here. We are here drinking through a plastic straw only because one of my subscribers actually sent me a case of plastic straws, and she was like, "Well, it's not metal, and I'll try and get you metal straws, but for now, here's a whole like bunch of plastic straws." So that's why you see me lately. I've been drinking out of plastic straws to, let her know I'm here. She said, "But I got you. I'm gonna get you a whole set of rainbow metal straws." I said it might be easier to do, like, you know how they have that, what's that color? Opal, that shows like all of the colors of the spectrum. I think it's called opal. Whatever. So get like that one. But hey everybody, we are here. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in the politics game. Let me greet you all appropriately. Hey Belize. I got your cash out, Belize. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, my love. Lovely 31 Blueprint. Hey, how are you? Coming to the stage, y'all. We have Watermelon Sugar. She is doing cartwheels down the pole like roulette and whisper. Get it. Hey Tracy, you're going to be proud. My son is 18. Come on now. That's a smart young man. That young man is going to be smart. What school he going to? Smart young man right there. Wherever he go to school, tell him to play it. Make sure he plays Kappa. Might get him a couple gifts. He pledged Kappa the right fraternity. Hey Tabitha. Tabitha, it's a lot going on. A lot going on. I'm sure you know Tabitha. So we're gonna get into all of it today, Tabitha. Good to see you, boo. Yes. Hey Ebs. Ebs, I feel like I be missing you so much because I be missing your get ready with me's. You don't be doing your get ready with me's no more. And we've been going through withdrawal from our GRWMs. We need you to come back to us. God, I ain't gonna let your pressure get up, okay? I ain't gonna let your pressure get up, okay? You know me, I'm gonna give it to you, and then we gonna find a way to make some nice of it and smile and laugh. Child, it is a lot going on, Tabitha. Child. Anyway, so we're gonna try to make sense of it all, get y'all all the information that y'all need. Like I'm looking at my agenda. Oh, yeah, it's a lot going on this good agenda. But we gonna make it do what to do, y'all. We gonna make it do what to do. We gonna have a good time. I got some lemon heads. I got some more now laters. See, I'm from Miami. We don't say now and laters. We say non laters. That's what they're called. Ask Tabitha. She's from Miami. Tabitha, please let the people know it's called non laters. Non laters. That's what they're called, not now and laters. Hey, Anton, what's good, bruh? What is good? They're gonna restart this promotion. It's killing me. They want me to actually be doing work. Child. They got you out here doing real work, honey. So I ain't gonna even have none of my what flavor now, ladies. I have strawberry kiwi today. That's my flavor. Abby, did you see your drunk auntie Vicky Winans? Y'all go snatch a microphone from Vicky Winans. She done went viral with that horrible, horrible singing. Child. Mm. If y'all ain't seen Vicky Winans, baby, child, just go to the Twitter and child, child. Child. Y'all want me to child, let me show don't worry, Abby. I got you, girl. Let me see if I can't pull this up. Y'all know my computer never act right when I need it to. So watch. Hold on, hold your line. Let me see if I can get this Vicky Winans for y'all, cause child, before we get into this good politics, because we got a whole lot to do and a whole lot to talk about. So somebody go check on the Winans family. I'm sure they're having a third church straight there about those child nocos. I mean, it was a mess. Mm-mm. Y'all, I got y'all. I'm about to pull it up right now. Hold on, give me a second. Child. What's up, Raphael? Child, yes, that Vicky Winans. Child. Child, long as I got King Jesus, long as you got some vocals, honey, because baby, that one there, honey, that was not it. Wait, so 5, 3, hold on. That one it, Vicky, that one it, honey. Ah! All right, so because they just literally, I was clicking on something and I clicked on the YouTube homepage and one of my people had her on there and her and yeah, hold on, let me get it together. Hold on, y'all, hold on. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna do the same thing. Remember that song? Here we go. All right. So this is for the people who are doing what they're supposed to do, staying here and not clicking off somewhere else and staying here watching me and get this ready for y'all. Here, here. You got your candy ready, Anton? Ciao. Chat. All right. So we're gonna share a Chrome tab. We're gonna share that one. All right, that's the one we're gonna share right now. All right, here we go. Little baby, but I'm so glad he's gonna hide me. I'm so glad he's gonna hide me. Yes, you will. I'm so. We're not so glad. We're not so glad. Let me do that one more time. But I'm so glad he's gonna hide me. I'm so glad he's gonna hide me. Yes, you will. I'm so. Y'all, mm, mm. Do y'all want me to play that one more time? One more time for the people in the back. This is Stella Award winning. I don't know if she got a Grammy, but I know she won a couple Stella Awards. Stella Award winning singer, Vicky. What was time for the people in the back? Girl! Little baby, cry. But I'm so glad he's gonna hide me. It's the towel over the face. So glad that's what I would do. He's gonna hide me just too well. I'm so. Oh, girl, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I am so done with y'all. That's how we gonna start off this. That's how we gonna start off this good. That's how we gonna start off this good politics live. Anton, I didn't even know you had a channel, bruh. I'm subscribing now. Wait, I see a couple Anton lots. Are you the one with the white do-rag, Anton? Or are you the one that says that got the little words on it says Nitty the boss duffel bag? I see two Anton lots. You let me know which one to subscribe to. And then I'll put your channel in the chat so people can go and subscribe. She may be going deaf like Foxy. I'm not doing this with y'all. Mm-mm. She was miming with the prayer clock. Child. Oh, Jesus, keep me near the cross. Baby Jesus, keep her near a bag of Ricola. Keep her near some honey and some tea or something. Girl. Girl. Oh, boy. I mean, let's be clear. Vicky Winans ain't never been that girl that was singing the house down. Her voice was okay. You know what I'm saying? She was always okay. She was never bad. You know what I'm She was all right. But she wasn't never that girl that you was like, baby, she finna say the house down. She was never Vanessa Bell Armstrong or nothing like that. I mean, let's be clear. This is Vicky Winans. But that's bad. We're not doing this with you today, so Jeff. We're not doing this. I'm gonna get Robin S to I hope Robin S is collecting her coins. Anton, you got to let me know which channel is yours because I went and searched for your channel and I found two Anton lots. So let me know if that's you with the white do rag. I see a channel with the white do rag. Then I see another channel, and I don't know. You tell me which one to subscribe to, Anton. Chat. Yeah. Hey, Really B. We was just over there at Really B, y'all. We was just over there at Really B, child. Why do people think she could use the uncleared cell? No, I'm not saying it wasn't clear. I know it was. I just hope Robin S woke up this morning. Robin S woke up this morning like Twinkie woke up after Jay-Z's last album. Twinkie woke up and looked at her bank account. Okay, that looks right. I can go back to sleep now. That's what Robin S did this morning. She knew it was coming out. She looked at her bank account. Okay, I can go back to sleep now. Everything's all right. Hey, BR Burns. Boom. Oh, there go his link. Okay. No, I'm not saying she couldn't sing, Tabitha. She definitely could sing, but she wasn't one of those, just go give me what I need. She wasn't going to usher in the whole, she wasn't a Vanessa Bell Armstrong. Back in their days, it was Vanessa Bell Armstrong back in that days. That was like the 80s and early 90s was the standard. We will fight you about Vanessa. Vanessa Bell Armstrong, yeah, you might get cut about that one. Anyway, let me get back on track. We supposed to be doing a whole politics of it all. Child, I hope she does own her. Because if she don't, that's gonna be a travesty of no other honey. Oh, let me click on this link that Watermelon Sugar just put in here, so we can so we can go to Anton. I didn't even know you well, everybody has a channel, but I didn't know that you were putting up videos. You gotta invite the people. Invite us over for your panel, and we will come right over there on the panel. We'll share your stuff out. We'll come over there. We'll have a good time, and we'll do what we do. We support around these spots. You gotta be like that. Anyway, so y'all go subscribe to Anton. Show him some love. Going on over there and show him that we love and appreciate fellow YouTubers around these parts. So, all right. So let me close out some of this stuff, y'all, because my computer gonna start tripping in a moment. Yes, to leave. All right. So, as many of you all know, today was the fourth public hearing of the January 6th panel. It was the fourth public hearing, and wait a minute, that one say it don't have no content. Why you quitting me? What I did? Watermelon Sugar. What did I do now? Why you quitting me? Girl, what did I do? Girl. I just clicked on the link you put there, Watermelon Sugar, but it says it's no content on there. It said when I clicked this, it says the channel has no videos. Yeah, you don't have nothing on there. So I don't know if that's the right one. Anyway, let me get to my. So y'all know today we had the fourth installment of the public hearings of the January 6th terrorist attack hearings. And so it was a lot. It's been a lot. Can you recap the Supreme Court? Oh, that's already on that. Listen, already on here. I already got Supreme Court on here. Already got Supreme Court on my on the agenda today, so we're good. Belize, they're gonna bother you more when I by the time I get through. Hey Patty Duke, hey Quintessential. Oh, Quintessential, I'm eating chewy lemonades and kiwi strawberry now laters. Cause I've been had a channel. Listen, everybody follows you. We have supported you, Watermelon Sugar. Y'all going on over there and click on Watermelon Sugar. She's the only one, first of her. Now you know how they said on Game of Thrones. Cersei Lannister first of her name, Joffrey Lannister first of his name. She's Watermelon Sugar first of her name. However, if you type in just Watermelon Sugar, that song by some white dude will come up and so forth. I'm already subscribed to you, Watermelon Sugar. You already know that. We have supported you on this channel. Don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all go over there and listen. Watermelon Sugar, all you got to do, put your channel in the chat. We're going to pump it out and push it out there. I think it is John Mayer, one of the white guys that I don't really care about. They got a song called Watermelon Sugar. So, during the hearings today, there was a beautiful black queen who testified today about what life has been like. Oh, it's Harry Styles. Okay, one of those white people I don't care about. Chah. There go Watermelon Sugar channel. Y'all better go. You better go subscribe. Chat. You better go subscribe to Watermelon Sugar. Otherwise, she gonna cut me, and I can't afford to get cut. You know, I can't afford to get cut. Girl, y'all, we starting off on the deep end, okay? So I'm just letting you know now. Sugar Spike One, we starting off on the deep end now. Just go ahead. Let me take this first now, later now. Go ahead, regulate your sugar because we starting right on out. We ain't even fucking off. We not playing around. We start right off on the deep end. Mm-hmm. Don't even don't even fool yourself. We starting right on out. Mm-hmm. Oh dear God. All right, y'all good? Have we regulated? Have we regulated? So the beautiful black queen's name is Shay Moss. She got up there and she testified about what she experienced. So I had two articles about it. Let me take this candy out my mouth so I can read. All right. So here we go. The first one I got from the Hill. Okay. This is about all of what Trump and his band of merry thugs were doing after the election. Okay. So CNN's Dana Bash said former President Trump and his top personal confidant, Rudolph Giuliani, oversaw a campaign of racist terror against a pair of African American elections workers in Georgia following his loss in the 2020 election. After watching testimony today from Shay Freeman Moss and her mother, Ruby Freeman, before the House Select Committee investigating the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol, Dana Bash said the allegations Trump and his allies were making against the two election workers and the threats they faced as a result were, quote, beyond comprehension. But she went on to say, but I want to go back to Shay and her mother, Lady Ruby, because it's not just plain old terror with the two of them. It was racist terror. The kind of language that people, including the former president, were using about her, it wasn't even thinly veiled. Jake Tapper interjected, saying Trump called the two election workers hustlers. Rudy Giuliani, according to Jake Tapper, compared the votes they were allegedly hiding to drugs. Because one of the things where they were alleging that these workers were hiding votes as if they were smuggling and hiding drugs, that they were smuggling votes as if they were smuggling drugs. Dana Bash goes on to say, and let's be clear, these are people who they believe it is a calling, it is a public service to help out on election day, to help out with the pillar of democracy, especially for African Americans, especially for African American women who didn't have the opportunity for so long. This country should be throwing a parade for election workers, not having the President of the United States start a reign of terror against them. During his testimony before the panel, I'm sorry, during her testimony, excuse me, before the panel, Shay Moss, who was the focal point of a conspiracy theory spread by Trump and his allies about election fraud, said the allegations against her were her quote turned my life upside down. She then goes on to say, this is Shay Moss, I don't do nothing anymore. I don't want to go anywhere. I second guess everything I do. It's affected my life in a major way, in every way, all because of lies. And that's what Shay Moss testified today. She went on to say, do you know how it feels to have the president of the United States target you? The president of the United States is supposed to represent every American, not target one. In another article I found, and you can go and you can listen to her her testimony, but there are documented cases where people were being paid to go to their house and harass them, to go to their house and vandalize their private homes. Her and her mom were under 24-hour threat of violence. And this is all coming from the president of these yet to be United States of America. If that is not the definition of terror, I want you to tell me what is. Mind you, these women did nothing. They didn't do anything. All they did was their job. But once again, black women were seen were seen as a target. These black women, in Donald Trump's mind and in the estimation of Republican terrorists and racist bigots who want to overthrow the country and turn us into an autocracy or some dictatorship or something, thought that it was a good idea that, oh, they're low hanging fruit, they're easy targets, we can target them when they hadn't done anything wrong. How many of us, when we go on, because many of us do live in predominantly black neighborhoods, or in neighborhoods where you're going to have a, even in white neighborhoods, not just black neighborhoods, but even in white neighborhoods, in a lot of election precincts that I've been to, you will have black women that are there serving as, elections officials and poll workers and people that are there doing their job, doing the work of the people and keeping this democracy together by ensuring that we have fair elections, by ensuring that the elections process and the voting process is carried out with fidelity, with fervency and zeal. Okay. But you have a president, you have a group of people who now say that because the election didn't go in their favor, they want to blame people who had nothing to do. There was no fraud. There was no fraud whatsoever. But according to them, they wanted you to believe that this woman and her mother were instrumental in voting fraud that caused him to lose Georgia. Mind you, you lost Georgia by more than 11,000 votes. Let me take my now later and finish it now before I lose. I need to regulate my sugar levels. Hold on. Patty Duke, the unfortunate part, the elections was a year and a half ago. And these black women have been targeted for for over a year and a half now. Their name is everywhere. Even before we knew who they were already being targeted. Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump had targeted these two women, and their names were out there on all of the dark web. all of those nefarious websites and social media blogs and everything, they were being their names were being put out there, their addresses, their phone numbers were being put out there by all of those right wing nut jobs and nutcases everywhere. So unfortunately, if the bad people can put their name out there to do bad things, then the good people can have their names and information so we can go and protect them. This is why we needed organizations like Black Panthers and other organizations that were going to be here to protect our people and to protect our interests. It was a mess. A whole mess. But hold on. So you had Shay Freeman Moss, and her mother, Ruby Moss, um, who were featured in a video that Trump and former Mayor Rudolph Giuliani called a smoking gun for voter fraud at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. That's where they were counting the votes in Fulton County. Um, um, because they were alleging that these women were carrying suitcases full of ballots for Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden. Mind you, they're poll workers. Mind you, their job is to take ballots from the precinct to the goddamn place where they're being counted. These women did their job. They took votes from, were they votes from Joe Biden? Perhaps they were. It is Fulton County, which is one of the bluest of blue districts in all of Georgia. You think they work for Joe Biden? This wasn't out there in Marjorie Taylor Greene country, okay? This wasn't out there in Herschel Walker country. This was in Fulton County. These were registered election poll workers whose job it was to bring ballots to the place where the ballots were capitulated and recapitulated. Right, Patty Duke. They had if you didn't watch the hearings today, they had compelling hearings today because they brought the Republican people out there today. They brought the people out there who were supposed to be on their side. The people came right out and said, "Yeah, Rudy Giuliani called me and told me you need to make this happen because you're a Republican like we are, and you need to make this happen." I'm just saying, hey, Quintessential, thank you so much for your cash out, my love. But y'all, they came right out and said, yeah, they were harassing me. Remember, Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, who Donald Trump, hey, Diamond Pearl Jim, um, was trying to make him not certify the election or find these votes that he wanted him to find. And he said, absolutely not. Mind you, he did win the Republican primary for Secretary of State. He did. Brad Raffensperger absolutely did win the Republican primary for Secretary of State. He did. They wanted him to get primaried out, and they wanted somebody that would help them steal the election to win. Now that already happened. They already got somebody over in Arizona. Trust and believe. Arizona says they won't go down that road again. Dear God. This is what y'all got going on. I got so much on the agenda today. I can't even spend as much time going in on this. But I just want y'all to know what this government sanctions. I just want y'all to know, because when we're paying our taxpayer dollars and these taxpayer dollars are being siphoned over to pay for everything that the president of these yet to be United States does, we have taxpayer dollars being used for terror. That is the definition of terrorism, what they did to those black women. The definition of terrorism. Derek, they don't like me. They do not like. Listen, Derek, you don't even got to know. YouTube shuts me down mid live sometimes. My subscribers, I done got shut down in mid live, but you ain't missed too much. Although we've been on here 37 minutes, about 25 to 30 of those minutes we spent laughing at Vicky Winans and her vocal stylings from this weekend. Oh God! And with that, we're gonna move on. What's up, Derek? Well, yeah, Derek, they do have a problem with me, Derek. Derek looking kind of good. Hey, Derek. I'm looking close at this picture of Derek. Ooh. Anyway, let me not flirt with the subscribers. Hey, Derek. Hey, Miss Trisha P. This is why I can't keep subscribers, because I be scaring them all off, flirting with the damn subscriber. Let me leave Derek alone. Anyway, this is why people are not nice to me. It's so funny because I had a straight friend that said to me recently, he said, E, you know what? You never tried me. You never flirted with me. You never did anything. He said, on the one hand, I respect that. On the other hand, I wonder, does that mean I'm ugly? I didn't even know how to respond. He said, on the one hand, I respect that you always, you know, you've never tried anything. Hey, Yana, boo. Hey, boo. You never tried anything. You never did anything. And I respect, and you respect me, and I love you for respecting me in that way. But on the other hand, does that mean I'm ugly? I promise y'all, I didn't even know how to respond. I was like, and then the fact that I didn't know how to respond, he was like, so that does mean I'm ugly. Thank you so much. You're supposed to be my friend, and now you just crushed my whole spirit. I said, no, that doesn't mean that. It was all downhill from there. So we took two more shots. Right. But I had that experience too with another friend. So we have a friend, he's not gay. And I promise y'all he's not. But we all were going out. So he was the only one of us that was there that was straight. So the rest of us was like, we going to the club, the gay club. And you could stay here, find you a show or whatever. He was like, you know what? I don't want to be left behind. Don't y'all think nothing, but I'm gonna go with y'all. I'm gonna stay by myself, have a good time. So he says, so we said to him, listen, if you go to the gay club, people gonna flirt with you. He's like, man, that's what I expect. Because when you look like I do, who wouldn't flirt with me? If I go there and don't get flirted with, then I'm gonna be mad. Why we got to the club, y'all, and nobody paid him no mind? He left. Wait, no. Eventually, by the end of the night, somebody did. But we was halfway through the night, and he comes, and he was like, because we was over on the dance floor, and he was sitting at the bar having drink. And he was like, so I came over there to the bar. He was like, man, this shit is fucked up. I was like, oh, somebody tried to. He was like, no, ain't nobody even saying nothing to me. Ain't nobody trying to talk to me. I got on my fresh J's. I got on my outfit. Nigga over here popping. My shit look good as fuck. And ain't damn motherfucker come over here. I said, you do realize that you are arguing because a dude has not come over to flirt with you and you aren't gay. And then he was like, yeah, you do got a point. But still, what did that say about? I said, bruh, this is a no winning argument for you. No winning argument. No winning argument. Child. So, where do I go next? Ugh, I don't even know where to go next. So, let me go here. Let me go here next since we're spiking. Child, a mess. Just a damn mess. So, in these yet to be United States of America, let me hold on. Let me pull this video up because I need y'all to see this. I can't quite. It is not going to have the same effect if you don't see the video. Okay. Oh dear God. Brace yourselves. Because I just want y'all to see what we have going on in this country. Tabitha, if you still in the bushes, I know you done seen this. Because I don't expect something like this to be out there and you not have seen it. So I know you done seen this, Tabitha. I ain't even worried. So I'm gonna play this video, y'all. And this is someone who's running for the United States Senate in this country. Hold on, let me get this right. Hold on, y'all. Let me get it right. Hold on. All right. So Eric Greitens is running for Senate in the Republican Party in the great state of Missouri. Let me show y'all his campaign ad that he's endorsing. Y'all get a load of this fuck shit.
I'm Eric Greitens, Navy SEAL, and today we're going rhino hunting. The rhino feeds on corruption and is marked by the stripes of cowardice. Join the MAGA crew. Get a rhino hunting permit. There's no bagging limit, no tagging limit, and it doesn't expire until we save our country. I'm Eric Greitens, Navy SEAL, and today we're going rhino hunting. The rhino feeds on corruption and is marked by the stripes of cowardice. Join the MAGA crew. Get a rhino hunting permit. There's no bagging limit, no tagging limit, and it doesn't expire until we save our country.
So now for those people who may not be as politically adept as I am, he's not talking about rhinos in terms of the animal. He's talking about rhino. If you saw it was spelled R-I-N-O. Rhino would have an H after the R if you were talking about the animal. He's talking about R-I-N-O, meaning Republican in name only. So now he's advocating, because these are people who aren't conservative enough for him. These are people who aren't dangling off the right wing enough for him. These are people who aren't lockstep and key with their demigod, Donald John Trump. And because they aren't willing to take us back to 1776 just with 21st century technology. Hey, Janae Boo, he's advocating that you go storm into people's houses with shotguns and assault rifles and take people out. Is that not what he's advocating for? You have people actively running in this country to make laws. If he wins, this is the caliber of person who would be making laws and decisions that affect our everyday lives. And he's advocating that they do this to their own party. We ain't talking about the Dems. We ain't talking about black people. We ain't talking about the gays. We ain't talking about. We're talking about these are Republicans who want to do this to people in their own party. This is what these yahoos want to do to people in their own party. Rhino is not with the H, it's RINO, Republican in name only. These are the ones who they don't feel like is white supremacist enough for them. This is what they want to do to people in their own party. What the hell do you think they're going to do to others? What you think they're going to do to us blacks? What you think they're going to do to the people in the Rainbow Coalition? What you think they're going to do to any other marginalized group? If they're willing to take assault rifles and shotguns and go and attack members of their own party, these are the people who you all are about to elect to make laws and decisions that affect our lives. Cams, you just can't sneak up in here on me, okay? You can't sneak up in here on me like that, Cams. You know you got to say hey to me so I can appropriately flirt with you. Hey, Cams. Even though I was flirting with Derek earlier, no disrespect, Derek, I can still flirt with you too. It's enough of me to go around, Derek. I can flirt with you and flirt with Cams. Derek, it's enough of me to go around. God, y'all don't got to get mad. Hey, Anton, let me know if you want parts of this flirting as well, because we can do all of that. It's enough for me to go around. God, Jesus. But this no, but this is scary. I know I'm making light of this, but y'all, this is really scary. This is really, really, really scary. Like I know, and that's why I do the politics of it all because I do try to bring some of these things that are quite alarming and quite scary to you all, so that you all are aware, so you aren't caught off guard. And I try to make light of them, but a lot of these things are very serious. We have people in endorsed campaign propaganda giving dog whistles out across the fruited plains to go and attack people. Is that not a dog whistle? These people are willing to go and try and overthrow the government, which is why we're having these hearings right now. And you want to give a dog whistle to those people? I am spreading the wealth all Pride Month long, and then every month after that. Yes, you are. You know me so well, Tracy, but you know me so well. God, I mean, yeah, you're right, Derek. Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin are Democrats in name only. Yeah, they are. Like, this is what the Republican Party is advocating that they do to their own. What the hell do you think they're going to do to people staunchly against them? And y'all think I'm crazy when I keep saying we are careening toward a civil war. I'm telling you, this country is careening down the hill to another civil war. You like to slide in, but mine is tight. You can't just slide in there. I'm like a newborn baby, like a brick wall. Ain't no just sliding in there. It's tight. You got to open it up. Can't just slide up in here like we ain't gonna notice. Baby, we feel that back there. We ain't loose. We got walls over here. Dear God, now it can be opened up and let in, but not from the beginning. If not, if we don't know. Baby, we got walls over here. Chat. Hey, Morgan. I don't even think I said hey to you, Morgan. Hey, boo. I did not even say hey to you. Watermelon sugar got me dying. Watermelon sugar, you know how I am. You know how we are over here. I just wanted y'all to see this and see what was going on in the Republican Party. Like, as much as I'm laughing about it, this shit is dangerous. As much as I am laughing and joking, this shit is dangerous. It's very dangerous because what this does is there's what they're essentially saying is anyone who doesn't agree with us, who isn't lockstep and key with us, who isn't, fervently behind everything that we have going on, this is what you need to do to them. I don't want to hear anything about your Navy SEAL. What I also want to know is how was this? Did y'all notice that there were people in military uniform? Like, are these actual servicemen or are these actors portraying servicemen? I know it was an active serviceman, so I'm not going to even. I'm 1,000% sure those were active servicemen in in the United States military. But what I'm saying to you is for you to try to portray as if either active duty military or National Guardsmen would be on tap to do something like this, that you're around here with shotguns and so forth, that you around here got people portraying themselves in military uniforms and camos in order to go and attack people on citizens in their homes. First of all, that's not even legal. But yet and still, we're gonna have a whole lot of people when November comes tell us, oh, I don't feel I need to vote. Oh, it's not that serious. Oh, I can't stand politics. I'm sick of y'all talking about that. Okay, okay, okay. Now Twitter and Facebook have taken because he tweeted it out and put it on his Facebook. Facebook has taken it down Twitter has clearly not taken it down. They've tried to, but it's been retweeted and screenshot and retweeted so many times that, there goes that whole thing. You notice he also said join the MAGA crew, get a rhino hunting permit. There's no bagging limit, no tagging limit, and it doesn't expire until we save our country. This is what y'all got going on. Now, you've had people on both sides, Republican and Democratic side, that have condemned him. Not a whole lot from the Republican side, but you got a couple, a handful. But now, oh, I forgot to give you the other part. Y'all don't, do you know? Oh, I didn't tell y'all the history of this guy. Oh, my bad. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all the history of this great American. Let me give y'all the history on this fucktard. So, Eric Greitens is running for U.S. Senate in the great state of Missouri. Mind you, this is the same state of Missouri who has a senator seated in this United States House of, I'm sorry, this United States Senate in the form of one Mr. Josh Hawley. Yes, that Josh Hawley. The same Josh Hawley who was lockstep and key with the overthrowing of this government. Now, anyway, Eric Greitens is the former governor of Missouri. I say former governor of Missouri. Why? Because he's been charged with several violent sexual acts of sexual misconduct. He's been charged with being violent to women. His own ex-wife has brought him up on charges of assault, physical assault and sexual assault. Says she was tied up and all kinds of stuff. He has a long hit. Listen, he served as governor from 2017 until his resignation in June of 2018 after there were allegations of sex crimes and campaign finance reform. But he's running for United States Senate in the great state of Missouri. They elected Josh Hawley. Is there anyone doubting that he may be a sitting United States Senator, one advocating for all of this? You're right, Diamond Pearl Jim. He fits right in. Just go look up the scandal with Eric Greitens from how he was ousted out of and forced to resign as the governor of the state of Missouri. But this is what y'all got going on. He'll fit right in with Josh Allen. He'll fit right in. Let me move on. I've been on here over an hour. I don't even know if I've gotten through half of my agenda right now. Dear God above. But that's what y'all got going on. In other news, because this is not getting any better. Hold on, y'all. I need to show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Hold on. Hold your line. Remember this? Do y'all remember this right here? If it'll ever load. Give it a moment for it to load. Y'all know how my computer be acting. Why aren't you loading? God. I don't know why my computer always chooses to embarrass me. Oh, we were talking about just then. We were talking about Eric Greitens, former. He's running for United States Senate for Missouri, and he's the former governor of Missouri that was forced to resign. Eric Greitens, and now he's advocating for us to bust into people's houses with shotguns and assault rifles. Why are you always embarrassing me, computer? You're so embarrassing. God. Hold on, y'all. Whenever I need my computer to act right, it don't want to act right. Hold on, y'all. Try and get this together. Let's try and get this together. Y'all see how my computer be acting? It be acting. All right. Remember this picture right here? Remember this? A few months ago, where I came on and I damn near lost my goddamn mind. Remember this? Remember this image, y'all. I'm just going to say that again. Remember this image, these horrific images that we saw months ago? I came up on here and was screaming from the rooftop, lost my goddamn mind, even went off on our current press secretary, Corinne Jean-Pierre, Corinne Jean-Pierre, who is the who is a Haitian American and who should have been advocating. There goes the stupid ad for screaming from the rooftop herself. So I'm not gonna read this the title of the article. I'm gonna read the article and let this horrific remember that image, let that sink in. Okay. Let me read this horrific article to you and let you see what we got going on in this country. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol have opened an investigation to look into an unofficial challenge coin that displays that image, the picture of a Border Patrol agent who chased Haitian migrants on horseback with what looked to be a whip, the Miami Herald reports. The images led to a public outcry highlighting the less than subpar treatment of Haitian migrants in recent years. Despite Haiti being rocked by political unrest and climate change, many migrants seeking a better way of life have been deported. Oh, yes, this administration, not Trump's administration, but this Democratic administration said, fuck you, Haitians. We don't care about y'all. We sending y'all back to Haiti. So y'all can go over there and die of starvation and live in poverty and have all kinds of political unrest and have all kinds of people die because of what's going on in that country. We don't care about y'all because y'all a little too black for us, but we'll take in other countries. But y'all Haitians won't want no parts of y'all. That's what Joe Biden and his administration are saying. Let me continue on. Deportation of Haitian immigrants were accelerated in May. That was last month, as the New York Times noted. The makers of the challenge coin have not been identified. And this is what the Miami Herald. I'm gonna go into y'all what a challenge coin is because I know I have firsthand account of what a challenge coin is. I'll get there in a second, but let me finish reading this article. This is what the Miami Herald reported. Customs and Border Patrol of Customs and Border Protection's Office of Professional Responsibility is investigating the creation of the coins and whether anybody in Customs and Border Patrol is selling them. Any anyone who will face a any who are selling them will face appropriate action, said Louis Miranda, Customs and Border Patrol Assistant Commissioner, who said the agency's chief counsel will also, quote, send a cease and desist letter to any vendor who produces unauthorized challenge coins using one of CBP's trademarked brands. He goes on to say the images depicted on this coin are offensive, insensitive, and run counter to the core values of CBP. This is not an official CBP coin. The challenge coin has an inscription saying, quote, reining it in since May 28th, 1924. On one side, I'm sorry, on one side, this is what it say with the picture. Reining it in since May 28th, 1924. Yesterday's border is not today's border. On the other side, I'm sorry, that's what it says on each side. So one side says reining it in since May 28th, 1924. The other side says yesterday's border is not today's border. And on the rim, around the rim, it says you will be returned. That's according to the Miami Herald. On the face where the infamous picture resides, it says, quote, honor will always be first, end quote. As far as the date is concerned, the magazine The Week states that 1924 is when the Johnson-Reed Act was passed. It was then that Border Patrol was founded and when America started to reduce the number of immigrants who came into the country each year. There has been no indication of how many of these coins have been created. However, the Herald points out that 41 coins were recently sold on eBay for $15.19. Longtime Haitian and immigration advocate Merlene Bastian stated the presence of the coin is, quote, unprecedented, outrageous, and intolerable, end quote. President Biden, and this is what some Haitian activists have gone on to say. Quote, President Biden promised to get to the bottom of this, but there was not any action or repercussions. And now the Border Patrol is so emboldened that they are making a mockery of the suffering of Black refugees. They are so proud of their criminal behavior, and they are immortalized, and they have immortalized it with a coin. Now, let me give you the history of challenge coins. Challenge coins, still to this day, 2022, but has been used for centuries now as a mechanism to know if someone is a part of certain organizations, entities. certain secret organizations, and certain organizations that are not secret. In order for they always have methods of recognition. They have not only passwords or secret handshakes and grips, but they also have what's known as a challenge coin. And what happens is a challenge coin can be presented to someone to say whether or not they're real. You got a challenge coin, I got one too. So if I hold out my challenge coin to you, you have to prove that you are a member of that organization. That's me. If I get challenged to say whether or not I'm a part of this entity, this body, this group, this organization, here is the verification. Here's the receipts, as y'all like to say, 2022. But here's verification that I really am a part of that. So I'm a member of so many organizations you can't even imagine. But I do have challenge coins that I have in my own possession for said organization. That's why I know about them. So what happens is that challenge coin should have on it symbols and pictures and images that tell the other person that you truly represent the tenets of that organization and of that entity. And so, my point being, if you have the Customs and Border Patrol members that are using this as a clandestine challenge coin within amongst themselves, what they're saying is if you really want to be considered real deal customs, you got to go along with this level brand of fuckery and fuck shit. And that image that I showed earlier is the image engraved and immortalized on, say, challenge coins. Because at this point, even if they try to do away with it, they already selling them on eBay. They're already circulating. No way to get rid of them now. This is what y'all got going on. But y'all expect these people to do right by us. Y'all hold on. I'm supposed to be on a Zoom call for work. Y'all hold on 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get the work laptop and get on this Zoom call. Yeah. Y'all hold on. I'm coming right back. Hold on. All right. Am I in? Yes. All right. I'm in. That was one of them work Zoom calls, where you don't necessarily got to be on there. You don't got to be in them. You can have your mic off and your camera off, as long as you are present and accounted for. That's what that was. So they over there talking about some stuff I don't care about. Anyway, not that I don't care about it, let the record show, but it's not my part that I should be interested in yet. Making a coin with the pink on the side. And a ruler, child. Don't do it. Don't do it. But y'all, this speaks to no matter how much you try to clean up some of these organizations, this includes Customs and Border Patrol. This includes law enforcement. This includes a lot of organizations and a lot of people whose job it is to serve the citizens of this country. They're not in it for the right reasons. They don't have clear judgment. They don't have our best interest at hand. Rather, they would do any and everything to make our lives worse. Child, just a man. You say you love them kind of meetings, but each child. Child. A mess. So I wanted y'all to see and know that that's going on. I told y'all I had a lengthy agenda today. All of this is going on right now. And these are yet to be United States of America. Where am I? Okay. So next, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. I know it's a lot. But we got to get through this. So, um, we're back to one point in the holy trinity of racism and bigotry in these yet to be United States of America. We're going over to the great state of Texas, governed by Governor Hot Wheels. So, the great state of Texas is going out of. They have been on a tire. They've been on this journey toward any and everything anti gay LGBTQ plus for some time now. Okay, so let me tell y'all what they currently going on. They have begun to ask all Republican lawmakers to agree with this Republican, this Texas GOP platform that's been put out there. Let me read this article and let me let y'all see what's going on. The Republican Party of Texas generated scorn and condemnation over the weekend for an adoption. I'm sorry, for adopting a platform for a final vote that contains homophobic attacks against the LGBTQ plus community in the state and claims President Joe Biden was, quote, not legitimately elected in 2020. So when the Republican Party was meeting, they uh, they um they they agreed to adopt a platform for the Texas Republicans that has all of this going on. Quote, we reject the certified results of the 2020 presidential election and we hold the acting president, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., was not legitimately elected by the people of the United States. End quote, reads one of the resolutions approved by the Permanent 2022 Platform and Resolutions Committee at the convention, which took place last weekend and ended Sunday. This was the convention of the Republican National Party of Texas. Okay, continuing on, delegates were asked to vote on 8 out of 15 possible legislative priorities and 275 platform planks as the gathering wrapped up, and all the votes will now be tallied and certified. But a party spokesperson told reporters that it's rare for resolutions approved at the convention to be ultimately rejected by the delegates, which means that everything that was on that platform pretty much gets rubber stamped. Just a mess. The party called for the addition of several platform planks targeting LGBTQ plus people, including one declaring homosexuality, quote, an abnormal lifestyle choice, end quote, a position that was not included in the two most recent platforms. What had happened was, just to interject into the article, they had when you if you're not familiar with how state political parties work, they will have platforms that they'll put out there, and there'll be several iterations of it until you get the final one, that when you go to your convention that you have for that state Republican or state Democratic convention. You'll meet at a convention, and the delegates there will vote on the platform for that political party for that political season. And those will be things that all of the members of that party should be, pushing forward. So, in the previous two, there wasn't, the ones before the convention, there wasn't any um additions to the platform that included things about anti-LGBTQ plus. In this one, in the final version that came out at the convention, there was. So I mean, let me finish. Now the final vote didn't come out yet from this weekend, but as it was stated, rarely, if ever, is anything that's presented on that final platform that they present at convention is ever rejected or overturned by the delegates. They go along to get along. Many of them are just happy to be there, so they ain't trying to ruffle no feathers and they ain't trying to buck the system. So, but the article goes on to say, if officially adopted, the Texas Republican Party will declare that, quote, there should be no special legal entitlements for LGBTQ plus people, and that Obergefell versus Hodges, the Supreme Court ruling which affirmed that people of the same sex can legally marry, should be overturned. End quote. Have I not been screaming this for the last 2 years? I know y'all have heard me screaming this for the last 2 years. I told y'all they was coming after Roe v. Wade. I told y'all they were coming after gay marriage. They coming after interracial marriage. They coming after any and everything they don't want no parts of. They coming after it. They don't care. The platform is being voted on as the Supreme Court is expected to overturn another landmark ruling, Roe v. Wade. The Texas Republican platform would also call on federal lawmakers, quote, to enact legislation to abolish abortion from the moment of fertilization, end quote, and calls for all Texas public school students to, quote, learn about the humanity of the preborn child, end quote. If adopted, the state Republican Party would officially deem transgender people to be suffering from, quote, an extremely rare mental health condition and oppose all efforts to validate transgender identity, end quote. This is happening. I've been screaming. See, those of y'all who've been rocking with me for a long time, y'all know I've been screaming this for a long time. We've been talking about this since 2020. This ain't not. I told y'all that this was happening. I told y'all that the left was asleep at the wheel. I told y'all that all of these people would say, "Oh, I don't care. I don't like politics. Y'all pissing me off. I don't have a reason to vote. I don't really care. Nothing to see here." Y'all, do y'all not see that we are going backwards in time, just like I told y'all? MSNBC anchor Mehdi Hassan called on congressional reporters to ask, quote, every single elected Republican, end quote, in Washington to go on record regarding whether they agree with the Texas GOP's proposed platform. And if not, will they publicly condemn it? He went on to ask in a tweet. Brian Tannehill, an analyst with Rand Corporation, said the Texas GOP is clearly, quote, signaling an intent to yank the license of doctors who provide transition related care and to push transgender people out of the state. They are trying to go after doctors who perform any care or services for transgender people. They are putting things in place to make it where there's people, the Republican Party in Texas is full of yahoos. They will never give up their. You will always hear members of the Republican Party of Texas say, "We reserve the right to secede from the union." You talk to a Republican in lawmaker in Texas, they always talk the fact that Texas reserves the right to secede from the union. They mean that. They're serious, which is why, if y'all recall, 2 years ago, almost at this point, when I was screaming from the rooftops, if you live in the state of Texas, get out now. Get out now. They want nothing to do with black people. They want nothing to do with LGBTQ plus people. They want nothing to do with women's rights. Please be clear. And I know people gonna say, "Oh, but I like Texas. Oh, we don't have any state um tax state um uh, income taxes." That's what the word I'm looking. No state income tax and all of these different things. Hear me and hear me good. They are doing things that are trying to take the state back to the 17 and 1800s. Don't you see the pattern here? Do y'all not see what's going on? The platform was amended 3 months after the state was temporarily barred from investigating parents of children who obtain gender affirming medical care, which Republican Governor Hot Wheels Greg Abbott directed officials to do earlier this year. Less than 19 months after 19, less than a month, excuse me, after 19 children and 2 adults were massacred in a shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. We'll get to Robb Elementary in a moment. The Republican Party is calling to amend the state constitution by eliminating the legislature's power, quote, to regulate the wearing of arms. They are calling to amend the state constitution where even the legislature won't even have the ability to legislate on the right to not just bear arms, but wear arms. I read that correctly. That was not a typo. Not bear arms, but wear arms. Delegates are also voting on a policy plank that will formally reject a bipartisan gun control package currently being negotiated in the United States Senate. While progressive advocates say the proposal is so weak it is practically meaningless, the Texas GOP platform would rebuke Senator John Cornyn, a Republican of Texas, for even engaging in talks on the bill. The platform would also demand that Texas be allowed to vote on whether the state should secede from the nation and call for a repeal of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, while also warning Republicans that they must vote in high numbers in November 2022 to overwhelm any possible fraud. See, y'all just think that I'll just be up here like a conspiracy theorist, just farting out conspiracy theory. I am not just farting out conspiracy theory. This is stuff that has receipts. These are things that are being voted on. And covert meetings, subversive groups in covert meetings are doing it. I just told y'all, you talk to any Republican lawmaker, and they will always tell you that they have always reserved the right to secede from the Union. On At this Republican National Convention for this state, not national, but the Texas State Republican GOP convention, they are over there discussing the fact that not only are we going to keep and reserve the right to secede from this country, but we will also, in doing so, reverse or repeal, I should say, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. See, a lot of times I will, and here's why I sometimes will say things, and sometimes people don't believe me. And I have to wait till I have can put everything out there. A lot of times I get the calls. I am very active in politics. I will talk to people that are behind the scenes that know what is going on, and they'll tell me this is coming down the pipeline. The receipts ain't came out yet, but they already in talks. They're drafting up paperwork. And when I said what I said back in 2020, this was one of the conversations that I had, that they were talking about we want no parts of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. That they were talking about the fact that they want, they even talk about things like we want no parts of interracial marriage. Y'all can go and fuck each other to death, but marry, we want no parts of it. These yahoos talk as crazy as saying if it comes to that, women don't need the right to vote either. And that's why they've always said we reserve the right to secede from this union, which would absolve us from the entire Constitution of the United States and all of the Bill of Rights. And if you absolve yourself from the Constitution of the United States and all of the Bill of Rights, what are you left to? Because those same Border Patrol people that are at the border keeping people out, do you not think that there won't be some that may be trying to keep some people in? Let me continue reading because y'all think that I'm just some Yahoo screaming from the roof. I'm telling y'all how this stuff goes. Continuing on, quote, it's interesting that the Texas GOP is warning of more voter fraud to come while also calling for the state to have maximal authority to impose ever more onerous restrictions on voting, which is the apparent aim of repealing the Voting Rights Act. End quote. And that comes from Greg Sargent of the Washington Post. Greg Sargent goes on to write, you might recall that Texas passed one of the nation's most restrictive voting laws last year. We talked about that. We talked about that. Uh, Yet, oddly enough, Texas Republicans still do not appear reassured about the integrity of their elections. They're still warning of impending fraud. They're still claiming voting in urban centers should raise heightened suspicion. And they want radically expanded legislative authority to impose further restrictions, even ones that fall disproportionately on minorities. This is happening, y'all. Whether or not you wanted to, I keep telling. While we're in Texas, let me try to let me come through. If that didn't give you alarm, if that did not scare you, you should be. Because what do we always say around these parts? One state does it, and it becomes the blueprint for other states. Governor death sentence in Florida refuses to be outdone by Governor Hot Wheels in Texas. Then you have Governor Ivy over in what is the Alabama she's in. You got Governor Kemp over in Georgia. You got Governor Youngkin over in Virginia. You got all of these people and all of these other states that said, "Oh, they doing that over in Texas, and ain't nobody doing nothing about it." Okay, well we can do it too. A mess. They were Morgan. They were. While we're in the great state of Texas, so the drip continues to happen. The water drip, the faucet, the leaky faucet drip that continues to happen out of the great state of Texas over in Uvalde, where we had the murdering of innocent women and children. We're now learning that it was worse than we even thought with regard to the police response, which is why the police chief for Uvalde Schools Police Department has refused to cooperate with the FBI and federal law enforcement investigations. He's refused to cooperate with that because he knew that it was far worse than we could ever dream. Let me read this for you. There was already plenty of evidence that the first cops to respond as the Uvalde massacre unfolded showed awful judgment, if not outright cowardice. Turns out the details are even far worse than we thought. New reporting from multiple outlets, including CNN, the Austin American Statesman, and KVUE TV, shows that officers from the Uvalde School Police Force not only waited in a hallway for nearly an hour before confronting the gunmen, but they did so while holding assault rifles and at least one ballistic shield. In addition to the heavy firepower and protective gear, the new report shows that those officers were inside the school within 19 minutes of being dispatched. In short, the new information backed by surveillance video, because now they got the full surveillance video from inside Robb Elementary School, shows that the Uvalde cops had guns that were at least as powerful as the AR-15 brandished by the killer, in addition to a shield that could have offered them at least some protection in the event he opened fire on them. It also brings into more focus the question of whether any elapsed time between the shooter entering the school and federal agents finally overruling local cops on scene and gunning him down may have contributed to the ultimate death toll of 19 children and 2 adults in last month's incident. The information is to be presented at a public Texas Senate hearing in Austin today. Investigators say the latest information indicates officers had more than enough firepower and protection to take down the gunman long before they finally did. The timeline um, reported from documents included footage from inside the school that showed the 18-year-old gunman casually entering a rear door at 11:33 a.m., walking to a classroom and immediately spraying gunfire before barricading himself Video showed 11 officers entering the school 3 minutes later. 3 minutes later. Aaron Dondo, who's the police chief, called the Uvalde Police Department landline and reported that their suspect had, quote, shot a lot, end quote, with an AR-15 style rifle and outgunned the officers at the school who were armed only with pistols, the outlet reported. 4 minutes later, at 11:44 a.m., that was 4 minutes after the phone call. Body camera video recorded the sound of more gunshots at 11:52. The first ballistic shield arrived as officers grew impatient to act. Arredondo struggled to find a key to the classroom door, even though no one is believed to have tried opening the door, the outlets reported. Meaning, he don't even know if the door was unlocked or not. He over there shaking, struggling, trying to open the door. This is a whole mess. Let me keep reading. Another officer with a ballistic shield arrived at 12:03, and another came with a shield 2 minutes later. About 30 minutes before officers finally breached the classroom door at 12:50 p.m. Notice I said at 12:50 p.m. and the gunman entered at 11:33. That's an hour and 18 minutes. Arredondo is heard wondering aloud if the gunman could be shot through a window. Only at 12:46 did Arredondo tell the tactical team to breach the door when ready. I don't need to read no more. But these people continue to tell us that the only way to beat a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Several good guys with guns. Yet we still have a whole bunch of people dead, women and children, in a public school. What do y'all want from me? I just want to know what y'all want from me. This is what y'all got going on. I got two more stories and then we get out of here. Two more. So there's a number of Supreme Court rulings that you're about to start to hear about over the coming days because it's time for all of their adjudications and rulings to finally see the light of day. We already know one that's coming down the pipeline with Roe v. Wade, but it seems like Roe v. Wade wasn't the only monumental decision that they were deciding upon. So let me read this article to you. The Supreme Court on Tuesday struck down a Maine education policy that made K through 12 schools with religious instruction ineligible for taxpayer-backed tuition aid, continuing the conservative majority court's general trend of ruling for religious interests. The 6-3 decision broke along ideological lines, with the court's 6 conservatives ruling that the state's so-called sectarian exclusion violated the constitutional religious protections. The court's liberals dissented, with Justice Sonia Sotomayor accusing the conservatives of further eroding church state separation. Maine law gives school age children the right to free public education, but the right to free education. But because many rural districts lack a public high school, a workaround was devised that allowed students to attend nearby qualifying private schools with public assistance. Under Maine law, however, schools that offer religious instruction had been ineligible. This exclusion prompted a challenge by Maine parents who argued that families preferred schools from the barring a family's preferred school from the tuition aid program based on religion violates constitutional rights under the First Amendment. Chief Justice John Roberts, yes, the same one who's allegedly the swing vote, who the moderates and liberals are depending on to vote with them, that one. He wrote the majority opinion siding with the parents. A policy that excludes an organization from a widely available benefit solely because of its religious character must clear an extremely high legal bar to survive, he wrote. Maine's exclusion of religious schools from its tuition aid program failed that test. Justice Roberts concluded. Um, I, I ain't gonna even go on and on. Let me just give you all in a nutshell what this means. What this means, if you recall, I believe I did it on this channel and on the Teacher Project 2.0. What this does is, if you recall, I believe it was either Tennessee or Kentucky. I'm not sure which state it was, but that governor sanctioned the opening of 150 schools that were religious based charter schools and private schools that would indoctrinate white children on their white supremacy, that would completely leave out any parts of slavery, that would completely leave out any teaching of anything outside of white Aryan nation ideology and teaching based on religion. What this means is now schools such as those will now receive public funds and funding to indoctrinate the next generation of white supremacists. Let me say that again. The Supreme Court is now giving the go ahead to indoctrinate the next generation of white supremacists. That's because now we're eliminating the separation between church and state. So this is now going to usher in a whole slate of uh, court opinions and lawsuits where the separation of church and state has always stood firm on making sure that it didn't go through. What this means is the Supreme Court has said, is affirming what I told you, the big four. You need to be white, male, heterosexual, and Christian. Because I shudder to believe that had those religious schools in Maine been Islamic religious schools or some other religion outside of Christian, that they would have found this ruling. This is what y'all got going on. Let me get to my last story, which is not a bad story. I really want to take a lot of time to go in on that, Tracy, because I think you asked me about it, Tracy. But I feel like a spike unimaginable is coming. And rather than me spike myself out, I'm going to keep it together and go to the next story, which is a good story. I don't know if it's good. I shouldn't say it's not overwhelmingly good and feel good. It's informative. Let me say it like that. So it's less bad. We won't say it's good. We'll say it's less bad. So today is Tuesday, which means it's primary day and voting day in a lot of areas. So I wanted to give you all some states and areas, places where if you're in those area, all right, Belize, I see you. Will you need to make sure that you're voting today. So we got three states that are holding primary runoff elections, while voters in DC and Virginia will hold nominating contests that could have implications for well-known Democratic incumbents. In Alabama, one of the states with a closely watched runoff election, Representative Mo Brooks and former Senate aide Katie Britt will face off for the GOP Senate nomination, while voters in Georgia are set to deliver verdicts on a pair of House candidates endorsed by former President Trump. So let's go to Alabama. Alabama's Republican Senate runoff between Mo Brooks and Katie Britt, a former aide to retiring Senator Richard Shelby, are set to face off in a head-to-head matchup that will decide the state's GOP Senate nominee and likely the successor for Senator Richard Shelby. No, Tracy, I ain't gonna let you make me spike out. I gonna let you make me spike out. Now, Mo Brooks appears to be the front runner for the nomination because he was endorsed by Donald Trump last year. But the Alabama congressman has struggled for months to gain traction, and Trump ultimately withdrew his support from Mo Brooks back in March. Now he's been doing good lately. He's tried to, stage a comeback lately. He beat out a retired Army pilot named Mike Durant for the second place spot. But Katie Britt finished 15 points ahead of Mo Brooks, but still fell short of the majority support she needed to claim the nomination outright. Trump done went ahead and endorsed Katie Britt after he took his endorsement from Mo Brooks. So she's the favorite to win at this point. Georgia's Democratic Secretary of State runoff is happening today as well. I told y'all Raffensperger got the GOP nomination earlier, but there are going to be Democratic challengers, and they're having their primary. So there, it's between Representative B. Wen and former State Representative D. Dawkins Hagler for the Secretary of State, and they'll face off against Brad Raffensperger. Wen finished nearly 26 points ahead of Dawkins Hagler in May, but didn't quite win enough votes to secure the nomination outright. Stacey Abrams has endorsed B. Wen, and Wen is spelled the Asian way with the Nguyen. So Georgia's 6th congressional district, there's a runoff a primary runoff there in Georgia's 6th district. It's in Atlanta's northern suburbs. And it will pit emergency room Dr. Rich McCormick against attorney Jake Evans in a race that could test the strength of Trump's endorsing power. This is the Republican um, nomination. Evans has Trump's, and that's attorney Jake Evans has Trump's endorsement in the race, but that hasn't stopped Dr. Rich McCormick from attacking him as inefficiently conservative. Um, so we'll see how that goes. Georgia's 10th congressional district is having a Republican runoff today, and that's going to pit Trump endorsed former state representative Vernon Jones um, against a trucking company owner by the name of Mike Collins. Jones is a former Democrat, and he previously challenged Governor Brian Kemp for the Republican gubernatorial nomination, but dropped out of that race after Trump promised to endorse him in the race for the 10th district. He finished 4 points behind Mike Collins, who's the truck company owner. In Washington, D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser is facing challenges from two D.C. council members, I should say, as she's seeking renomination for a third term in office. Bowser has sought to campaign as a proven leader and steady hand in the district's government and has touted her advocacy for DC statehood, but she also faced attacks over rising crime in the city as well as worsening homelessness problem. Her two main Democratic rivals are Robert White and Trayon White, who have criticized Bowser over her handling of public safety and rising housing costs in the city that have pushed Black residents out. If she wins, she'll be only the second DC mayor to serve more than 2 terms. Virginia's second congressional district has a Republican primary between Representative Elaine Luria, who's a Democrat, and she's up against State Senator Jen Keegans. So we'll see how that goes. Another Virginia congressional district is the 7th congressional district in Virginia, which has where am I at? Incumbent Abigail Spanberger against former Representative Dave Bratt. So those are just some seats. Southern Diva KP says Alabama also has 2 Black women in the runoff for the Democratic nominee for governor. We need to, yeah. That Governor Ivy over Alabama. I think that's Governor Ivy and Governor in Alabama. She got to go. She got to go. So those are just some races. If you have voting today, make sure you go out and vote, please. Please make sure to go out and vote. Listen, y'all put some shout outs in the chat. I'm about to get out of here. I got another meeting coming up. And I gotta be on that meeting. But I know y'all ain't seen me in a while. I know I miss Silly Saturday. Y'all, my travel schedule is insane. You don't even want to look at my travel schedule right now, dear God. It's insane. I was talking to Really Be this weekend about I don't know how I'm gonna make it through. I don't know how my pocketbook is going. I don't even carry a pocketbook. How my wallet is gonna make it through my travel schedule. How my body is gonna make it through my travel schedule. But we're gonna make it. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get P Valley out to y'all today, hopefully. If not today, tomorrow. That's my goal. To get P Valley. I watched it, but I need to watch it again and take notes so I can do my review. And I also want to get Tom Swift episode, at least episode one of Tom Swift out today or tomorrow. That's probably gonna be tomorrow. So that's all. Um, but we gonna get out of here, y'all. You listen, I try to bring y'all the stuff that y'all need to stay informed. If you out there in the state of Texas, I am praying for y'all. Child, Diamond Pearl Gem, I'm worried about my future flights too. But knock on wood, I've been real good. I ain't had no flights canceled. Delta, I've been pretty much sticking to Delta because they've been the one that's been less problematic with canceling flights. American been canceling flights left, right, and sideways. But Delta has been doing me pretty good. So I've been pretty lucky in that regard. Um, but this weekend I'm not even flying. I gotta drive 8 hours. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord. 8 hours I gotta drive. So 8 hours there, 8 hours back. So y'all pray my strength. Anyway, I thank y'all for loving on me. I know I had a couple people that gave me some cash apps today. As I always say, I love y'all. I love all y'all. Thank you all for being vocal present and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you have. I love y'all for it. They're much obliged. They're much appreciated. Um, that's all I got for y'all for now. I am Diamond Pro Jim. Don't worry. Child, I wish I was laying low and spreading wide as much as I would like to be. Child, I be working, y'all. Y'all don't even understand. I really be working. But anyway, I need to try and lay it low and spread it wide more than I have been. All right. But y'all take care. Y'all be safe. Take care of yourself. Protect yourself and each other. And so far, until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.